Hey guys, it's Christina here. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I wanted to come in and actually answer some of the questions that I've been getting about unlimited. So if you look at my Facebook page, the header at the moment is unlimited. And essentially what it is a course that I'm running for 90 days starting in April. This will be the first live round. Hi, Natasha. Um, if you jump on, say hi, let me know you're here. So this will be the first live round that I do of this course. And essentially the whole idea of the course is actually to help you start to reclaim and re-own who it is you are and who you were created to be. And the reason that I want to do this course is because I see it time and time again with my clients that one of the biggest areas that we actually have to work on, we can get the herbs right, we can get the diet on point, we can get everything else working the way that we need it to, but often it is the last clink in that kind of gear that needs to happen is the emotional stuff, the reclaiming themselves, getting to know who it is that they actually are, and starting to drop the masks that they've been trained to live. And so Unclaimed is all about that. Unclaimed is about walking you through the process of actually starting to identify why you may be doing the things that you're doing, why you're running the patterns and the strategies that you've been running. Let me clarify that a little bit. So a pattern or a strategy is something that you do when you put something on autopilot. So for example, we all run a strategy when it comes to brushing our teeth. So if you're going to brush your teeth, usually there's a thought or there's some sort of reminder that now is the time to actually brush your teeth. So it might be that you notice that on the clock it is XYZ time. And that is your reminder that now is the time for me to go brush my teeth. So then you go start to run that strategy. So you run that strategy really, really naturally. You do it all the time. P.S. Please excuse the background noise because it's dinner time at my house. Elijah, maybe you could shut my door. So we run a strategy on how to brush our teeth. Now you can brush your teeth all the time and you don't even think about it. You'll brush it generally the exact same way every time you do brush your teeth. Sometimes you might change it up just for a little bit of fun, but generally if you're busy and you've got other stuff on, you're going to brush your teeth the exact same way that you do every time. And you'll have a routine to that because your brain has set that on autopilot. Just like when you drive a car, you know, if you've been driving for some time, you're almost driving on autopilot. You can get to where you need to go without thinking about what gear you're in, whether the clutch is in or whether it's out, how to put the brake on, what's happening in your rear view mission. There's lots of stuff that happens while you're driving. But if you've been doing it for some time, your brain puts that on autopilot and it becomes a strategy or a pattern that you run. So much of our life is actually run on these strategies and these patterns that we have learnt to do over the years. And so Unlimited, the course that I'm running, is essentially about helping you discover what are some of the patterns and the roles that you've learnt to play over the years. So when we are all born, we're all born actually, you know, with natural inquisitiveness. Like if you look at a baby, they are so curious about everything. They just want to learn. They want to see like the wonder of the world. It's exciting. Everything is new to them because of course it is new to them. And you know, there's this joy and this playfulness where they're just willing to give everything a go. They've got risk-taking skills. They have their own unique little personality that they have. They're very emotive. Hey, Joe, they're very emotive. You know, like it just, when I'm talking about this, I'm reminded of my babies. Like just, you know, sometimes when something just scared them, like it just came out of the blue, and just seeing like the emotion come across their face when they're doing the little pout and you can see that they're about to cry, and, you know, they're just emotive. They don't hold that back. They don't hide it. They don't have the skills to hide any of that yet. They are really resilient. They are warm. They love to be snuggled most of the time. They're very lovable. They're spontaneous. They do things completely at random. They take risks and they're not afraid to fail. They'll, you know, that's how we all learnt to walk, is by being not afraid to fail, because we would get up and we would stumble and then we would, you know, fall over, but we would get back up again and try another way and try and do it again. And, you know, eventually we continued to try enough that we got really successful at doing it. And so that's what we are all born with. We're all born with those characteristics. We're all born with those things. But over time, we get trained that many of those are not good. That, you know, we're told to you know, thinking of all the sayings like children should be seen and not heard. So we're told to start to squash our voice. We're told to start to squash who we are. That, you know, by playfulness and by trying out things, you know, we're making a mess, we're being too noisy, we need to be quiet, we need to be tidy, we need to be good girls, we need to help out, we need to do all these things. And as that process happens, we get squashed. The personality and the uniqueness and all those amazing traits that we had, that we were born with, they start to dampen, and we start to learn that it's not okay to be ourselves, and we start to learn that we need to play particular roles for everything to be okay. Now, depending on your family and your parents, it may be worse, or it could be different, as in some parents will have done that by physical means. In regards to physical abuse, they may have used smacking or switching or any of those physical punishments as a way to help train you to wear the mask that they wanted you to wear. Or it could have been emotional. So sometimes we have parents who are emotionally abusive or manipulative. And that again helps us learn that we have this mask that we have to wear. And so essentially we stop being that amazing creation that we were born into this world being. And we learn that we need to wear this mask because it keeps us safe, it keeps us in line, it keeps the peace. It means I won't get in trouble. It's all of those sorts of things. And we learn all of these different roles that we might need to play in our family. So, for example, if you were sick as a little one, you may have learnt the role that you are the sickly one in the family, or you are the victim in the family. So you learn to play that role because that's, you know, what the outcomes are. If you were the person who, or the child that had to pull everything together, you may have learnt that you had to be the hero, the fixer, or the little parent in the family. You may have learnt that you were the black sheep of the family. You may have learnt that you had to be the good girl or the good boy, or any of those roles that you may have learnt along the way. And we all have those things. And what I want to say, just to clarify, is that this is not about blaming our parents for what they did, because essentially, unless you know better, you can't do better. And what they were doing for many of them was that they were playing out the tribal cycle that had been done to them before. And so essentially what they may have been doing when they were parenting you was actually just doing the same thing that had been done to them, or they may have been doing the same thing but in a different way. So essentially, we then grow up, and we grow up wearing those masks, and we learn that those masks are actually us. We claim them, we say that they're us, and we continue to walk them out. So we walk them out in maybe the study that we choose, we walk them out in the jobs that we select, we walk them out in the partners that we bring into our lives, all of those sorts of things. And so my course on Unlimited is really, oh, no worries, Natasha, come back and listen to it later. It's going to be here. But my course Unlimited is actually about helping you unpack those things, those roles that had been placed on you, the masks that you've learnt to wear, and actually helping you to start to take them off so that you can actually really get in touch with who it is you are. One of my clients said to me recently, you know, I keep hearing all these things about, you know, I've got to be true to me, and I've got to do the things that are true for me, and I've just got to show up as me, and all of these sorts of things. But I don't know, Christina, I actually don't know who I am. In all of that, I don't know who I am. And I can say, you know, countlessly, like, actually who you are is somebody who has the potential to be spontaneous, to be playful, to be loving, to be unique, to be kind, to be warm, to be curious, to be spontaneous and emotional, to be emotional. You know, we learn so much that we need to stop being emotional, that we need to hide our emotions from people, and we need to shove that down so that we don't make anyone feel uncomfortable or awkward. And so again, that Unlimited course is about helping you regain those things, helping you start to practice, you know, little bits of being playful, little bits of spontaneity, little bits of being loving, little bits of being emotional as well. So the little bits start to turn into big bits. And the more you walk the journey, the more you actually start to find who that person was that has been trained to wear the mask for so many years, who that person is again, and actually start walking out your truth and being who you are really, and actually knowing who that person is and learning not only who that person is, but actually learning to trust that person and learning to trust that they have the capabilities to deal with whatever happens in the world and whatever comes their way. And once you have that knowing and that trust in yourself, you can actually start to move past that I'm not enough, which is the thing that many of us, like if we boil down our fears to, for many of us, it is I'm unlovable, I'm not enough, and I'm not worthy. And as we start to get back to who it is we are, and we start to reclaim our I amness traits, which are those things that I mentioned as a newborn baby that we are born with, so we start to reclaim those, we actually start to discover that, yeah, I am lovable, I am worthy, and I am enough. And that means then you can give that gift to the people that are around you. You can give that to your children, you can give that to your loved ones, you can give that to your partner, you can give it to your friends, and you can start accepting them for who they are and actually accepting that they are enough as well and that they deserve to have all the beautiful, amazing things in their life and truly be able to give that gift. Because if you don't yet love yourself, you can only partly give that gift to somebody else, because there is some unauthenticity when you're trying to give that gift to somebody, that they're worthy, that they're enough, when you don't yet believe it in yourself. So that's essentially kind of bubbled down into what Unlimited is. Unlimited is me walking you through that process. You know, there'll be videos for you to watch. I'm going to do them live this round, so you will be there live actually watching them. And then we're going to do some group coaching. So we're going to start exploring these things in a really safe group of people, where we can start to unpack some of these stories and we can start to see what are the roles that you've been trained to play and how those roles played out on your life, and what is the difference between, you know, safe problems and risky problems. And many of us live in the safe problems, which keep us stuck. You know, the safe problem is one where you know what you want to do, but you just can't seem to take the actions to make it happen. So, for example, you might want to buy a house, but you just can't seem to get yourself to put away that money and not actually take it back out of your bank account for your house deposit. You know that that's what you want to do. You come up with a plan with how to do that, but you just can't consistently make that happen. And eventually something comes along and you have to take that money out and spend it on something else. That is a safe problem. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck in the same cycle of, this is what I want to do, I can't do it, so therefore you're letting yourself down, you're learning not to trust yourself. There's this whole pathway of things that happen from there. Versus risky problems, where you start to take a risk and you start to bank on yourself and you start to, you know, really grow, and you take risks, or you put your time and energy into things that are actually going to make you grow and stretch you and are going to be rewarding in the end. And those risks actually learn to help you love yourself and trust yourself, because you're creating this evidence that you're trustworthy, that you can do what you say that you're going to do, and your word is your promise, and all of those sorts of things. So again, that's what Unlimited is. I am looking forward to running it. It's starting on the 1st of April. I'm putting up some of the video content into the course now. If this is something that you're interested in and you are wanting to ask more questions, send me a PM. I'm so happy to talk to you about this, because I really want as many people as possible to do this course, because I think it is absolutely amazing at what it can do to actually help you really start to clear out some of the rubbish stories that you've been living and telling yourself, and some of the patterns that you've been running on loop that have kept you stuck and kept you in the same cycle that you've been doing for so long. And again, many of the ailments that we actually have are our body trying to communicate with us. It's gotten to a point where it said, I've had enough. Please start fixing this stuff that's in here. There's emotions hanging all out. I need them gone. And so that is why Unlimited has come about. It's to actually start helping you do that process. All right, if you do have any questions, don't forget you can PM me. You can ask more questions here. I'm happy to answer them. And I look forward to chatting to you later. Have a beautiful, amazing evening. Bye for now.